When I saw the Jamstik Studio on Instagram and I watched all the videos, I thought this was it. Got it in the mail, was really impressed by a few of the features on it. Let me show you what those features are. This knob is like the best feeling volume knob I've ever come across. It feels amazing. This volume knob, whatever parts are in this, need to be on every electric guitar. Then there's this little piece that comes off. You adjust the tuning and then you put it right back in the little magnet spot. How cool is that? Just clicks back in the little magnet spot. Brilliant. So there's some really neat little design things with this Jamstik Studio. The problem with it is the actual part that you want to work well doesn't. So what is the best way to express yourself using MIDI and synthesizers as a guitar player? That is the question that I've been asking myself for a few years now. I've bought the ROLI Block or C-board. It's a smaller version of the C-board, the Block, which is about 24 keys. I've bought the Jamstik Studio, which recently came out. And just 2 days ago, I bought a Linnstrument, which is a keyboard-ish instrument designed by Roger Linn, who invented the Linn drum. Becoming an incredible keyboard player and learning all of the fingerings and getting really fast at that takes a lifetime of work, and it's taken me my lifetime so far, half of it, to get there as a guitar player. So to then physically have to do all of those things as a keyboard player just seemed like a bit frustrating for me. Like, I understand the way that music works. I understand how to build chords. I understand how to compose and arrange. It's just the actual physical process of doing that I would have to completely relearn as a keyboard player instead of as a guitar player. The other thing is, for me, as a guitar player, I love the ability to express myself using things like vibrato and bends. Those things are a big part of how I think musically when I think about expressing myself with melody. And so being held back on a normal keyboard and not being able to do that unless I use this tricky little mod wheel that is a whole other dimension physically of something that I have to interact with, it has been kind of something of a hurdle that I've been looking to get over. So when I came across this Linnstrument, this felt like my last-ditch attempt at MPE and MIDI controlling as a guitar player on something other than just a straight-up keyboard. And I do have a normal just MIDI keyboard, and that's primarily what I use. 2 days ago, I got this Linnstrument in, and I don't know, the one thing that really excited me about it was the fact that it's set up in fourths. So you can learn more about that, but basically that's the same way that most stringed instruments are set up, the way that a bass guitar is set up, and the top 4 strings of the guitar are tuned in fourths. And man, I'll tell you what, this made me giddy. It's the first time I've played any instrument since becoming a guitar player that I felt like, man, this just makes complete sense. Everything about this excited me. Right away, I was making music with this thing and coming up with new chord ideas that I never had. It was so exciting. I am definitely keeping this. If you're a guitar player and you've always wanted to express yourself using MIDI, then to me, this is it. Now, will it be for everybody? I'm sure it won't be. Funny enough, I bought this used from a guitar player who had tried it out and he didn't like it and he was frustrated by it. That said, personally, I have no idea why he felt that way, because for me, when I picked it up right away, within minutes, I thought, this is actually better than what I've been looking for. Roger Linn actually thought of things that I didn't even think of or know that I wanted in a MIDI synthesizer machine. I have to say that if I had to do my whole music career over again, I've often told people I would probably have learned piano first. Well, no, I would have learned the Linnstrument first. To me, this is the most logical, well-constructed instrument I've ever come across. This is the instrument that I think every person should be learning as their first instrument, if not drums. It's laid out in an extremely logical way. It's extremely expressive. It's small. It's not insanely expensive. I mean, it's like $1,000. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but for a high-end instrument that does what it does, and it's actually very, like, it feels very well made. On the videos and things, I thought it looked kind of cheap, to be honest, but if you actually hold it in person, this is wood, and it feels like a high-end instrument. It feels way better than it actually looks, which I think might be part of the reason for why they haven't become more popular. But I will definitely be teaching my daughter the Linnstrument as her first instrument. So that's my take on it. I hope this helps some of you guys out.